Hey, what's up? Ian here, and I'm back with another review video. And today I'm very happy because I got myself a COS t-shirt from Uniqlo, and it's making me that little bit more handsome on my video. Not that it matters, but anyway, today I'm not talking about my t-shirt. Today I'd like to talk about this Yanyin Canon 2. I've already unboxed it, and if you haven't watched my unboxing video, I'll leave a link somewhere up here so you guys can go check it out. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on my sound impression of this Yanyin Canon 2. Just a quick recap before I begin. So these Yanyin Canon 2, they have one dynamic driver and 4 balance armatures inside, and the retail price for this is $379 US, and it's available on Linso's website. So if you guys want to find out more, do check out the unaffiliated link in the description below. Okay, so let's begin. First, let's talk about the accessories that comes with this IEM. And you know, for IEMs that cost $380 US, I would expect the accessories to be of certain quality, and Yanyin doesn't disappoint. So very nice carrying case here, hard shell. It's leather on the outside, and on the inside you can put your IEMs. Okay, very nice hard shell case. And then the ear tips, also very nice quality ear tips. Comes in a very nice, cute carrying case like this, so you can put your ear tips inside. Let me just show you the ear tips. So ear tips is, the silicone is very nice quality, and I can feel that the the quality is rubbery, is a little bit rubbery, and also it's very grippy to my ears. So it does give me a very good seal, and the overall quality of the ear tips is very nice and firm. Now in terms of the cable, very nice cable as well. The cable is nice and thick. It comes with a 3.5 headphone jack, right? Straight type, and then also you have your Y splitter and your chain slider, right? And the ear hooks are nice and soft, very nice ear hooks. As you can see, it's very conformable to any shape of any ear. Okay, so now let's talk about the design and build quality of these Yanyin Canon 2, and the very nice faceplate. It has got this rainbow speckle cover here, and as you can see, it's very nice, colorful, okay, and very nicely made as well. The overall IEM, the shape of it is an IEM shape, typical IEM shape, and it's got this very nice built resin, and also, right, you can see like a serial number. Okay, let me just focus. You can see like a serial number at the back here. Okay, so this serial number will tell you that this is your set of IEM. Okay, I think they made a limited number of sets, and the nozzle is really nice as well. Okay, so in terms of the design and the build quality of this is really nice. Okay, now let's talk about the fit and comfort, and these fit my ears really well. And let me just put them in my ear and show it to you. So it fits my ear. It doesn't jut out or doesn't push against the back of my ear, and overall, and the cable, good thing is that the cable doesn't try to tug the IEM out from my ear. So it's a very nice fit, very snug fit, and I can wear this the entire day with no fatigue or physical fatigue at all. So very nice fit and comfort, and at the same time gives me a very good seal with its stock ear tips. Okay, now let's talk about sound. First, let's talk about drivability for this. These are really easy to drive. I've used this and listened to this at about 40 to 50% volume, and I used it with my iPhone, iPads, Android phone, and my dongles and dabs, and most of my sources, in fact all my sources, can push this or drive these earphones with no problems at all. Now in terms of gear matching or the source recommendation, I would recommend sources that are warm sounding, musical, rounded, fun sounding, and well, mainly casual sounding sources. Okay, things like the iPods or the Sonys, they pair with this Canon 2 very well. Okay, now let's talk about tone and timbre, and the tone and timbre for this is really nice. Very nice thick texture, very textured, and the texture is so smooth, so nice, and warm as well. It's fun, it's casual, it's very musical, I might say. And you know, a lot of IEMs, they may sound musical, they may not sound warm, or they may sound textured, they may not sound musical, but this IEM here has got everything in there. It sounds musical, it sounds warm, it's got that enough note weight. Note weight is not too heavy, not too light as well. and overall a very enjoyable tonality. That's very important. Okay, now in terms of technical performance for this, they perform really well. Okay, I would say very clean in terms of resolution, very resolving earphone, and together with your texture, together with your tonality and the technical performance, this is a beast when it comes to delivering the sound to your ears. And I would say the technical performance on this is just fantastic. Now the sound stage is wide, it's got very good height, and it's got a very large landscape as well, very well spaced out. Instruments are well placed, and its overall positioning and the imaging of the instruments, or my instruments, they are very well laid out and very well distinct. Okay, I can identify the locations very clearly. Now in terms of detail retrieval, these are fantastic. They give me a lot of nuances. When I listen to, for example, Outkast, right? Outkast has got this very faint cowbell in the background, and then it transfers from the left to the right channel. That is really very clear, and I can hear it very clearly on these Canon 2. Now in terms of the overall resolution, these are very resolving earphones. I mean, even though it sounds very heavy at the bottom end, but overall I find that it's a very clear and very resolving earphones, and it's like having both at the same time. Clarity at the same time, bass with bass shelf, right? So very resolving earphone, right? So that's for the overall technical performance. Now let's talk about the sound signature of this IEM, and I'll post a graph somewhere up here. And these are, I would say, dark, right? These are dark, very smooth and warm, and a little bit U-shaped tuned IEM. And this tuning reminds me of a few IEMs. One is the 7Hz Timeless AE, and then also the A-Full Performer 5, and also the Dark Magician, right? These have got similar tuning in terms of sound signature to those IEMs. Okay, and overall this is a very nice, overall a very smooth sounding IEM, and it's very pleasurable to listen to them. Now the sub bass, if you look at the sub bass, it's quite harmonious. It's not for bass heads, but the texture of that sub bass is so nice. The tonality of that sub bass and the extension of that sub bass is just fantastic. The rumbles there is very nice. It's got a lot of body and a lot of, it sounds very full. It's a very full type of sub bass. Unlike some other IEMs which I'll compare to later, they do have that similar level of sub bass, but it's not as full as this Canon 2. Okay, and in terms of the mid bass is thumpy, it's impactful. It gives me a very, very hard slam, and overall texture of that slam is very nice and very pleasing. Okay, so in terms of bass shelf, I would say this gives a very good foundation to any tracks that I'm listening to, and I'm really immersed, and very addictive bass, I would say. Now in terms of mids, even though the bass is prominent, as you can see from the graph, it's not that much recessed. So instruments like the trumpets, especially trumpets, electric guitars, pianos, they sound really forward and nice. Very nice texture in the bottom end. On the top end, they sound very smooth. Okay, they are not the brightest, but they sound smooth. Now in terms of vocals, male vocals, they shine on this IEM. Very authoritative, thick and textured voice, and overall a very engaging and very pleasurable and enjoyable listening experience on these Canon 2s. Okay, that's for male vocals. Female vocals, they sound laid back, right? They sound dark, not very energetic, but they sound smooth. You got good bass there in terms of the bottom end for female vocals, but female vocals, they don't have that sparkle there, but they sound safe. Basically, female vocals, you won't hear any shoutiness or harshness or any sibilance from the female vocals. So listening to female vocals, and especially if you are sensitive to treble, this is a very safe IEM to go for, a very good one to choose anyway. right? So that's for female vocals. Now in terms of treble, treble is a dark treble, it's a laid back treble, it's not a forward treble, and it's a good thing for those who are sensitive to treble. So basically what you hear, or what I heard, is that the treble is laid back, it's safe, it's dark, and there's no sibilance, there's no shoutiness, there's no harshness. No matter how I pump up the volume, when I pump up the volume, I hear more emphasis of the bass of the lower end as compared to the treble. Okay, treble, when you pump it up, it doesn't sound sibilant, it doesn't sound sharp, and the most important point of all, it's not fatiguing, right? It's a non-fatiguing treble. Right, that's very, very important. So I can listen to any of my tracks and all my tracks for a very long period of time. Okay, and also it's trails off and it rolls off pretty naturally. So my cymbal crashes, hi-hats, my shakers, the claps, they sound very natural in my songs. Okay, so that's the entire sound signature of this Canon 2, and overall I would say this is very suitable for casual listening, for listening to pop songs, general songs, for example the rock. I like listening to metal on this. Metal sounds really great on this. Techno, trance, R&B, oh, they sound fantastic on this. Now songs like classical, instrumental, female vocals, they may sound a little bit too smooth, a little bit too laid back, right? But with the clarity of the drivers here, I would say in terms of the capability of resolving songs, it is there. It's just that the tuning of it will make female vocals sounds a little bit laid back and classical music a little bit too heavy at the bottom end. But other than that, these sounds great on mainstream pop music, rock songs, and I really enjoyed listening to those genre of music on these IEMS. And yeah, it sounds fantastic with that texture there. Very nice tonality on this. And for that, okay, even though it is $380 US, I will give this IEM a 4 stars out of 5 stars. That's my rating for this Canon 2. I really enjoyed listening to this. Now, let's compare this with the Performer 5. Okay, so I have the Performer 5 here. I listened to them side by side. Okay, now in terms of the overall technical performance, now the Performer 5 is $200 US. It's cheaper than the Canon 2, but hear me out. All right, so basically the Canon 2 has got better technicalities, right? It's more resolving, okay, and also it's got better tonality as compared to the Performer 5. The Performer 5, they sound a little bit lean, a little bit light, and also the bass, right? The bass is not as textured and colored as this Canon 2. So it's not as musical. Okay, it does not sound as musical as the Canon 2, right? So overall, in terms of listening pleasure, I would say the Canon 2 is more pleasurable when I'm listening to my tracks. Okay, Performer 5 retrieves a little bit more details. Okay, it's brighter, it's got a little bit more clarity. Okay, but other than that, in terms of tonality of this Performer 5, it sounds a little bit more neutral as compared to the Canon 2. Okay, so I would definitely choose the Canon 2, but in terms of price, I would say the Performer 5 is much cheaper. And you know, when it comes to upgrades and the differences in sound, even though you know it looks on paper similar, right? It looks similar, but when you listen to it, it's a very, very big difference. And I do suggest that you guys, you know, don't just look at the paper, don't just look at the graph. Listen to it, use your ears, because everybody's ears are different, and you may like this after you have listened to it. Doesn't matter the price, okay? And it's worth the price, the $380 price tag, okay? So that concludes my comparison with the Performer 5 and also concludes my overall review of this Canon 2. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and also please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So that's it for now. I hope you guys have a great day ahead, and I'll see you again in my next video. Cheers.